you have returned, and you have brought the shard.
That's all you can say? I almost died out there.
If I did not believe you could handle the task, I would have sent another.
Yeah, well, you weren't out there in the swamp getting attacked by lizard folk.
No, I was here attending the wounded, Bevel. Now find Marion and do the same.
I don't see how you put up with him.
Now, for the shard.
Bevel, shut up.
Let me see it.
I died once, you didn't die at all.
Many such ruins lie within the mare and beneath it. They are of ancient Ilfarn, an empire once forged from an alliance of dwarfs and elves. All that remains are ruins, and little else. And their empire lives on only in history books and stories. That shard is one of a pair. Both were found after the battle that destroyed West Harbor long ago. My half-brother Duncan and I asked a mage in Neverwinter to examine the shards for enchantments, but he found nothing except a faint magical aura, residue of the battle, and so I kept one shard, and the other I gave to Duncan. Not long after I returned to West Harbor, I sealed it away in the ruins.
I have an uncle?
So to speak. It would be more appropriate to say that I have a half-brother. Duncan, like Bevel, has many faults that would make it wise not to rely on him or call him kin.
So he's kind of dumb, is what you're saying.
Strange. Perhaps the attack awakened it. If so, then perhaps a second look at these shards would yield different results. But such divinations would be beyond anyone here in West Harbor, including Tarmus. It was long ago, and it was a battle that did not concern West Harbor, but the village was caught up in it like many such villages in the mare of dead men. We knew little about what had sparked the conflict. Demons were involved, led by a warlock of great power. We only knew him as the King of Shadows. The forces of Neverwinter attempted to drive the demons back. Many villagers fled, some taking the road, others wading into the swamp, anything to escape the battle. There was an explosion, pure and white, then nothing more. That is the only reason I can think of for why they came. Am I certain? No. But my instincts tell me they were looking for it.
Makes sense, I guess. I'm not going to insult my father.
It is the only thing of substance in this village that would cause them to tear it apart as they did. They were not looking for gold or valuables, nor did they seem to care about us, unless we got in their way.
Yeah, and they did kind of say they were looking for it, so... Now what do we do? No, actually, let me see what he has to say
I
here.
could not bring myself to cast it away. Yet at the same time, I did not wish to keep it close. You are too young to remember what occurred, I know. But the battle was a terrible one. And that shard, it reminds me too much of that night.
What should we do now?
I need you to
it?
go to the city of Neverwinter, find my half-brother Duncan, retrieve the second shard, and take it to a mage you both can trust. Duncan owns an inn in the docks district of the city, the Sunken Flagon. Not the most reputable place, but safe enough.
I got Bevel coming with me?
No. I know you value him as a friend, but he will be of no help outside of West Harbor. He would only slow you down. Bevel is made for simpler things.
No, we won't say that.
That is possible, but this village cannot shelter you or survive another attack. On the road, moving, you have a chance. Once you reach Neverwinter, it may prove more difficult for them to attack you.
Nope, because that would be the If I was evil, maybe I would say that and think about myself, but I'm a good guy.
Head to the small port town of Highcliffe when you are free of the swamp. There, seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter. The beast that attacked us will leave West Harbor alone once they realize their quarry has fled. If all goes well, you should be in Neverwinter before they find your trail. Say your farewells. Your boots may travel many roads before you return. I let some of the others know you are leaving, but not the why of it.
Why didn't you take it?
I was raised amongst the wild elves. For all my years amongst the race of man, they make little sense to me. You are one of them, and you understand them. I have done all I can to hide your presence. If these beasts come again, West Harbor will need me.
Hidden my presence?
I have created a screen of activity. On a normal night, your trip with Bevel would have been easily spotted, but not tonight. It still may not be enough, but there is little else I can do.
I want to talk to some people first.
Return when you are ready to leave, and we will speak of the path you must take.
What do you got to say, Thomas?
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened here in years. I had high hopes for Amy. She was a rare find in West Harbor. A shame she failed to heed her first lesson. Always listen to Tarmas. You're leaving at a very inconvenient time. You've shown yourself to be the only apprentice with a lick of sense, and now you're off to the gods know where. Go if you must, but mysteries remain here that need to be answered.
They're just trying to help.
I had made it clear to stay out of it. I am no doddering scholar in need of your amateurish attempts to help. The girl died a meaningless death. A needless sacrifice only helps your enemy. Learn this lesson, and you may avoid Amy's fate.
True enough, Tarmus. True enough.
The swamp has many denizens, most dangerous, and all of them particularly irksome. But these new pests are not native. So it stands to reason they traveled through leagues of swamp trails and this odious smell to get here. Anyone that desperate has to have a good reason, so whatever you're carrying, guard it carefully. Anyone fool enough to go through that much effort to come here won't give up easily. I've already lost Amy to their determination. Dagon didn't tell me a thing, boy. But right after the attack, you dart off into the swamp, and now you're suddenly leaving. That speaks volumes. It's obvious you fetched something out there, and I'd bet gold that whatever those bladelings were searching for is in your pack at this very moment. But I don't want to know the details. Not to be overly dramatic, but I believe such knowledge could prove dangerous.
Already has. People are dead, man. I think you can help me on the journey with.
You're committed to this journey, then? Not helping out your master, Tarmas, eh? Blast it, then. Take this. Can't have my apprentice going into the mare empty-handed. At the very least, you'll stand a better chance of surviving than Amy did. The fool girl. But your best bet is to convince some young addle-brained local to be your bodyguard. I tell you, not a bad piece of advice for a wizard.
Yep, because we're kind of weak at early levels. Come back to see if I can buy anything from him. What'd I get from you? Ooh, Ring of Fortitude. Improves my save throws. So it's like having the, what is that? Yeah, resistance spell on constant. You got anything, Orlin? Don't worry, I'll punch them in the head if they say anything. Anything you can help me with? Why, thank you, actually. That is very useful. Another Cure Moderate Wounds. Yeah, you were mentioning something earlier that crops were failing for some reason. Bevel, you got anything to say to me?
So, your father sent you off to Neverwinter. As if everything that's happened tonight isn't enough adventuring for one lifetime.
Well, if it was, then this would be a very short game, and not that exciting.
I'm hoping that you'll be back soon enough after you reach the city, but most people who leave West Harbor don't come back. Not that I'm not tempted. Amy certainly would have jumped at the chance, but we lost a lot of harbormen to the attack. Hopefully your father's right, and there will be no more attacks once the shard is gone. Still, the village will need every sword arm it has.
Even your slow one.
As a member of the militia, my sworn duty is to defend West Harbor. I can't just turn my back on that.
Well,
I'll
At
do
least it'll
my
be in
best to
safe
keep
hands.
the place standing for you when you return. I want to hear about all of your adventures. Not really. There's an inn north of here along the road. It's the only one between here and the edge of the mare, from what I understand. Plenty of lizard folk in the swamp, of course. Just stick to the roads and you'll be fine, though. At least, that's what I've heard. I've got some bandages here, though I hope you won't need to use them.
I'll
You
take
can
them.
also have my share of the loot that we found. You'll need it more than I do.
No, I'm not going to do that to him. Sorry, dirt poor as it is, it seems.
Wish I could go with you, but the defense of the village is important too. Good luck. And if you run across the one who killed Amy, stick a blade through his heart for me. She deserves at least that.
Don't worry, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Oh, that's all the...
I cannot travel quickly carrying all this.
Well, I don't plan on traveling. I'm going to go sell these, hopefully. Got Lothander. Not Lothander. Priest of Lothander is what I meant. Don't worry about it. He's too thick-headed to die anyway. I didn't know. Well, I probably did know he had a brother, but what happened to Lauren? He went to fight for the war against Luskin. Well, maybe if I find him, maybe I'll let him know. It's like I said, if I find out anything, I'll let you know. Yeah, eventually I'll get to Mage Tower. Actually, I think I did more of the pillaging than they did.
So, Dagon is sending you to Neverwinter, eh?
Yep.
I can't say I approve. If it were a militia matter, I wouldn't send you alone. But I don't have any right to tell him how to raise his child. Can you at least tell me why you're going? Your father wouldn't tell me a thing.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
You know what they were looking for? They tore apart half the houses in town. What is it?
It's better if you don't know. The less you know, the better.
You're less cryptic than your father. But not by much. It won't be easy reaching Neverwinter. I've traveled that way once or twice. It's a dangerous journey, especially for one traveling alone. You might want to ask around the village. If you're going to leave, some folks might be able to offer some help. So, you want to hear a story? Look out for the swamp elf. You see, an elf never stops growing, and usually they head to Evermead before they get much bigger than human-sized.
I think
one
you're
of
lying.
the eldest lives in our own swamp. Huge he is, tall as a tree.
That can't be
It's
true.
the truth, I say. This giant elf has been known to hurl rocks great distances, and it has the evil eye. If it ever locks eyes on you, it turns you into a stone. Not stone, but a stone. Just look around the swamp, and you'll see hundreds of its victims. And just by looking at them, you can't tell if it's just an ordinary rock, or whether it used to be a man. If you listen quietly, late at night, you can even hear them.
I'll look out for those giant elves and those stones.
Just don't look him in the eyes. You may not have trained under me, but I've always enjoyed your company, and you acquitted yourself well with the village defense. Here, take this shield. It's always served me well. And even if you don't use it, you can sell it for some gold that might do you some good.
Anything
The
I should
road
be
is as
aware of?
wild as a road can get and still be called a road. And that was before the patrols stopped coming. There's only the one road in the mare, and that leads to us. There's a small inn on the way. Makes most of his trade off adventurers and the like. Galen, you remember him? The merchant? Well, he says the road is even worse than before. Lizardlings and other creatures have been sighted, and in large numbers.
Why did they stop
Your
coming
guess
down?
is as good as mine. All I can say is I wish they'd start up again. Might have prevented the attack on us, or at least given us some warning. Well, you already know about that war they had against Luskan a while back. Nasty business that was. Lost too many Greycloaks in that campaign, from what I hear. The whole city was burned to the ground. Every last house.
Which I think is what was the events of Neverwinter Night 1.
And that it was. If you go there now, you wouldn't recognize it. It was rebuilt in just over a year. By gnomes, I hear. And the war killed many men. The Watch just doesn't have the numbers they used to. One of the Watch's marshals, though, is a harborman, like you and I. You remember Cormac, right?
Yeah, you told me
He
about him.
sometimes makes his way here. He's about the only merchant that comes our way. Does it once or twice a year. And thank Joaquin he does. We don't have a blacksmith, so he sells us what we can't make ourselves. With the way he loves to stop and chat, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught up with him.
Well, as encumbered as I am, he might actually be farther ahead than I'd like. Okay, I think that's enough from you. Maring, do you have anything for me? It's not your fault. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna catch up to whoever killed my friend and I'll do it for him. Anything you can give me? Could use some healing. Where are you? There you go, Tarmus. See if I can get rid of some of this junk to you.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened here in years. Oh, very well. I suppose I could always use more coin.
More like, I could use some more coin.
I cannot travel quickly carrying all this.
We don't need you. Just drop them on the ground then. Let's get rid of you. I'll keep the shield for now. Can't use that. I'll drop that. Anything else? Keep the thieves kit for now. Oh yeah, that's a shield. I'll keep the musical instruments. Well, what's that? Oh, that's a swamp moss. Can I use anything with it? Nope. Okay, I think that is everything then. So let's see what we gotta do.
Have you said your farewells?
Yeah.
Take anything you need from our home. Speak with the wizard Tarmas as well. He may have a few odds and ends that he'd be willing to part with.
Oh crap, I never even looked to see what he had for sale.
You must...
I don't even think there was anything left in our house anyway.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened. Oh, very well.
Yeah, let's see what you got. That's all the stuff I sold you. How much gold do I got? 950. Let's see. We'll take that. That's a flute, tome of alchemy. I'll take you. Use you later. And I have a ring of protect fortification, yeah, so I don't have enough for that. Amulet of will. Yeah, I'll take you too. I think that's good enough. Spells. Full strength, potion of acid, or potion of aid. No, we're good there, I think. Okay, now we're ready to go.
Have you said your farewells?
Yep.
To get to Neverwinter, take the road that borders the Starling Farm out of town. It is the only road through the Mare of Deadmen, so following it will be easy. The road itself has not been patrolled for some time, and few travel it. Move quickly, and you may be able to avoid the many beasts of the Mare.
Oh, I should probably expect combat.
I suspect you will see your share of battle before you reach Neverwinter. Stray from the road, and the danger is even greater. I've made it known that you travel directly for the city, in the hopes that the enemy will pursue you along the high road. Instead, you will head to the small port town of Highcliff once you are clear of the swamp. From there, you will seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter.
Ah, so we're doing the old bait and switch.
There is a ship named the Double Eagle that will await you in Highcliff. Her captain, Flynn by name, is a trusted friend of mine and will ferry you safely to the city. Your trip to Neverwinter will be quicker by water, and my attempt at misdirection may allow you to reach Highcliff before the enemy becomes aware of your true route. I have nothing more to say. It is time for you to go, my son. Each moment you remain here brings greater risk to the village.
Well, I will get out of here then. Weeping Willow Inn. Well, this looks very cozy and all. I'll save this for here now. Why would I want to live here? What do we got here?
Now that we're outside, maybe you'd like to tell me what you said again. Slowly this time, so you could think about what you're saying.
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself, dwarf. Maybe you've come looking for trouble. Unless you have a little coin to convince us otherwise.
Oh, I wouldn't be fighting with a dwarf there.
Nothing that concerns you. This is between us and the dwarf, and whatever coin he happens to have with him.
Ah, you're welcome to try to take it if you're all game. You all can't be frightened of one little dwarf, can you? If you're afraid of being humiliated in front of the stranger here, well, now that's another matter.
We're not frightened of either of you, and it seems to me you need to learn a lesson.
Outnumbered? Well, I suppose they could bring some more friends if they wanted. That might even things up a bit.
This
Yeah,
matter
well
is
said.
between us and the dwarf here. It's none of your concern.
No, it's,
Come
I'm going to
on.
make it my
Someone's
concern.
trying to hit me already. Even the newcomer here sees that you're all too afraid to do anything.
All right, I've heard enough of this. Come on, boys. Let's deal with the dwarf and his new friend.
Well, it just so happens that you can have that. And you can have that. And you can have that. Well, that could have gone a little better than I thought. Let's try that again.
Now that we're out.
You're a small one to be taking this road off. Nothing that can...
If you're afraid...
We're not frightened of either of you, and it seems to me you need to learn a...
Outnumbered?
This map...
Come on.
All right, I've heard it.
This time, I'm not going to get into a melee fight with you.
I am your death.
No, magic him, not fight him. Now you can fight him.
Well now, that was a good fight. A shame they had to resort to weapons. But if they have to keep the odds even, can't blame them too much.
Well
Name's
said, Sir
Kelgar,
Dwarf.
by the way, of the clan Iron Fist. I've been making my way along the coast for some time now. Stopped in the Willow here for a brief fight. Ha! Even the odds! They didn't stand a chance in the first place. Obviously, you haven't heard of me. So, tell me, what brings you out along the mare? Roads aren't exactly safe, you know, and they're getting worse all the time.
I'm on a quest to Neverwinter.
Seems it's your lucky day, then. I happen to be traveling to Neverwinter as well.
My lucky day indeed.
Glad we see eye to eye. And when fortune smiles, who are we to turn away? I say we step inside the Weeping Willow here and share our stories over a few of the innkeeper's best.